You were not born to be average. You were born with greatness inside you, but greatness doesn't show up when you whisper. It shows up when you roar. Life isn't going to hand you the life you dream of. It's going to test you first to see if you're serious. Every setback, every failure, every late night and early morning, it's all a part of the process. The question is, are you ready to take control? You don't need permission to rise. You don't need someone to validate your vision. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. But you have to believe before anyone else does. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start doing. Every single day is another chance to claim what belongs to you. Not by luck, not by chance, but by grinding for it, by pushing past excuses, past comfort, past fear. You have power, real power, the kind that can rewrite your story, the kind that can break generational curses, the kind that can turn dreams into reality. But that power, it doesn't activate until you make a decision, a real decision to no longer settle, to stop surviving and start thriving, shape your destiny. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because the truth is, your future is being written with every choice you make. And if you don't write your story, someone else will. You were built for more, so stand up. Speak up and show the world who you really are. This is your time. Claim your power, shape your destiny, and never look back. Would you like this adapted for a video script or shortened for social media? You were born with greatness. That's not just a motivational line. It's a truth you need to internalize. From the moment you took your first breath, you were given a gift of potential, of purpose, of power. But the problem is, most people never realize it. They grow up surrounded by limitations, what they can't do, what they're not good at, what others have that they don't. And over time, they start to believe that maybe they really are average. Maybe they really don't have what it takes, but that belief, it's a lie. Greatness isn't something you find outside yourself. It's something you uncover within. There is something unique about you that the world needs. It may be a talent, a vision, a way of thinking, a voice, a story, something only you can offer, but that greatness won't show itself if you doubt it or ignore it. It grows when you believe in it, when you feed it with discipline, courage, and action. Too many people are waiting for the right moment or the perfect conditions to act on their potential. But greatness doesn't wait. It doesn't bloom in comfort. It rises when you're stretched, when you're tested, when you choose to stand back up after being knocked down. You weren't put here to coast through life, to just survive from one day to the next. You were designed to make an impact, to do something meaningful, to leave a legacy, and that starts with the decision to stop living small, to stop letting fear dictate your steps. It's not that people are lacking talent, it's that they're lacking belief. They've forgotten that they're capable of more. They've forgotten that what's inside them is bigger than any obstacle they face. The truth is, the world doesn't need more copies, it needs more originals, and that means stepping into your authentic self. It means honoring your strengths and embracing your challenges as part of the process. Your greatness doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you'll refuse to stay down when you do. It means you'll keep showing up, keep learning, keep moving, even when no one else sees the vision yet. This world has enough people doubting themselves, enough people waiting to be told they're worthy. Don't be one of them. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. You just need the courage to act on what's already in you. The greatness you were born with isn't something you have to earn. It's something you have to activate. And once you do, there's no limit to what you can become. Would you like the next keynote expanded as well? Take full responsibility. That's where everything changes. You can't claim your personal power if you keep handing it over to other people, to circumstances, to excuses. As long as you're blaming your past, your environment, your upbringing, or anyone else for where you are in life, you're giving away control. And if you don't have control, you can't shape your destiny. The moment you take full ownership of your life, your choices, your habits, your attitude, is the moment you unlock your true power. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say, I didn't get the support, or they didn't believe in me, or life's been unfair. And you know what? Maybe that's true. Maybe life hasn't been fair. Maybe people did let you down, but staying stuck in that story doesn't change anything. It keeps you bound to the past, repeating the same cycle, waiting for someone else to come and fix it. And no one's coming, not because you're not worth saving, but because the only one who can save you is you. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means you accept that you are the only one who can decide what happens next. You might not control what happened to you, but you control how you respond. You control how you rise, and that mindset, that ownership, is what separates the successful from the stagnant. The people who move forward in life aren't the ones who had perfect conditions. They're the ones who refuse to let imperfect ones hold them back. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting, you stop wishing, you stop hoping that something will change on its own. Instead, you start acting, you start creating, you start shaping the life you actually want. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's a privilege, it's what gives you freedom. Because once you realize that your life is in your hands, no one can take that away from you. This kind of mindset is rare, and that's why most people never break out of average. They're too busy blaming the system, their parents, their job, or the world. But you're different. You're ready to own your story. You're ready to say, no more excuses, no more waiting for someone to fix it. I've got this. That's personal power. That's how you turn a dream into a destiny. By stepping up, taking the wheel, and refusing to let anyone else drive. Would you like me to expand Keynote 3 next? Believe before others do. That's the truth most people miss. The world is not going to believe in you until you believe in yourself first. And that's the hard part, because in the beginning, there's no applause. There's no cheering section, there are no guarantees, just you, your vision, and a deep, sometimes quiet voice inside that says, asterisk, this is possible, asterisk, and if you don't protect that belief, if you don't feed it every single day, it'll fade before it ever has a chance to grow. You see, people won't always understand your journey. They won't see what you see. They won't feel the fire in your chest or the conviction in your heart. And because of that, they might doubt you. They might laugh at your ideas or question your goals. That's okay. Their doubt doesn't define you, asterisk, your belief does. Asterisk, every person who has done something extraordinary had to walk through that valley of loneliness where no one else could see the vision but them. And the only thing that kept them going was belief. Belief is the fuel that drives your effort. Without it, you won't even try. Without it, you'll quit the first time things get hard. But when you believe, truly believe, you'll push through the discomfort, the delays, the distractions. You'll invest in yourself even when there's no visible return yet. You'll show up again and again, not because it's easy, but because you know what's on the other side is worth it. And belief isn't just positive thinking. It's not just telling yourself things will work out. It's a decision, a commitment. It's waking up every day and choosing to trust your vision even when your reality hasn't caught up yet. It's doing the work with intensity and focus because you know it's going to pay off, even if nobody else does. The truth is, most people wait for evidence before they believe, but champions, leaders, visionaries, they believe asterisk before asterisk the results. They believe when it's still invisible. They trust the process. They trust themselves. That's how dreams are built. That's how movements start. One person with belief is more powerful than a crowd full of doubters. So stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's possible. You're not here to convince the world of your worth. You're here to asterisk show asterisk them. And the only way to do that is to first convince yourself. You've got what it takes, but no one will see it until asterisk you asterisk do. Want me to continue with Keynote 4? Power comes through action. You can dream, plan, visualize, and talk about your goals all day, but none of it means anything until you take action. Real power doesn't come from ideas alone. It comes from execution. It comes from doing the work, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when no one is watching, especially when progress is slow and doubt is loud. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, you stay stuck in potential. With it, you move into purpose. People often confuse motion with progress. They think reading a book, watching a video, or talking about goals is the same as making moves. But activity isn't the same as action. Action is uncomfortable. It requires you to risk failure. It forces you to face resistance. It asks you to step into situations where you might not have all the answers. That's why so many people hesitate. They want the outcome without the grind. They want transformation without sacrifice. But life doesn't work that way. There is a point where planning has to stop and doing has to begin. You don't need the perfect plan. You need to start. You need to take the first step, even if it's messy, even if it's small, because action builds clarity. Action builds momentum. You can't course correct a parked car. You have to be in motion to steer. The more action you take, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more confident you become. And that confidence, that's the power people talk about. But it's not built overnight. It's built in the trenches, in the repetitions, in the discipline to show up again and again. Action also separates the committed from the curious. It's easy to say you want success. It's easy to talk about dreams, but are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to sacrifice sleep, comfort, distractions, even relationships that don't align with your purpose? Because every time you choose to act, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And those votes stack up. They compound. They shape your identity. The most powerful people you admire didn't get there by accident. They moved. They failed. They adapted. But above all, they acted. Not once, not occasionally, but consistently. You don't get power from thinking about lifting weights. You get power by lifting, straining, pushing, and growing stronger over time. Your life works the same way. You want change, then move. You want impact, then act. That's where your power is, in your willingness to take steps forward, no matter how small. Shall I continue with Keynote 5? Decide to no longer settle. That's a turning point in every person's life. The moment they draw a line in the sand and say, enough is enough. Until that moment, most people drift. They go with the flow. They tolerate things that drain them. They accept less than they deserve because it's easier than confronting change. But the life you truly want, the version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming, that life only begins when you make a decision to stop settling. Settling isn't just about accepting a bad job or staying in a toxic relationship. It's much deeper than that. Settling is a mindset. It's when you start to believe that good enough is all you'll ever get. It's when you silence the voice inside that's calling you higher because you're afraid of failing, afraid of being judged, or simply too tired to fight. And the tragedy is, most people get used to living below their potential. They learn to make peace with mediocrity, not because they want to, but because they forget they have a choice. But you do have a choice. You have the ability to say, this is not where my story ends. And that choice, the decision to rise, to break the pattern, to raise your standards, is where your transformation begins. Greatness doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. It's a daily commitment to stop making excuses and start making moves. When you decide to no longer settle, you take back your power. You stop blaming your past, your circumstances, your upbringing, and you start focusing on what you can control. Your mindset, your effort, your direction. This decision will cost you. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you convenience. It might even cost you some relationships with people who are content staying where they are. But what you gain is worth far more. You gain clarity, you gain momentum, you gain a life that reflects your values, your vision, and your worth. And once you start living at that level, you'll look back and wonder why you ever accepted less. Refusing to settle doesn't mean you think you're better than others. It means you know you're meant for more. It means you believe your time is valuable, your dreams are valid, and your life has meaning. But no one can make that decision for you. No one can want it more than you do. This is about you deciding that average is no longer an option, that staying in the same place, repeating the same habits, living the same story year after year is not enough. So make the decision, raise the bar, burn the old excuses, because the moment you decide to stop settling is the moment you start soaring.